us go on the stairway to success. Justifying our existence, putting us to the test. We can all fall down the mighty and tall. We can all lose our crown. And the ones you hurt on the rocky road, I'll trip you up on the way back down. 15 minutes of fame, and you all used to say 15 minutes of fame, then they steal your star away. Come on, play the game, come shine the light down on me. Take it out, this is now 15 minutes of fame. 15 minutes is all you get. Money and fame gonna get you yet. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can. 15 minutes is all you get. Money and fame and no regret. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can.
Going to be right on the sounding on the internet. Look at him. What a loser.
15 minutes of fame, and you all used to say 15 minutes of fame, then they steal your star away.
Okay, there's the chicken. Got the cheese. We got tortillas. Let's see. Nachos. Oh, hey. Sorry, I'm still at New Hope Cinema Grill this time around for Trailer Trash TV. And as you can tell, we're in the inner workings. We're in the kitchen, New Hope Cinema Grill, full service kitchen. And oh my God, I forgot they still had that. Wow, last show I mentioned it. They had the burgers and the chicken and the nachos in the full service kitchen. I totally forgot. They still do fresh pizza as well. This rocks. I mean, I'm gonna sing their praises a little later on in the show, but like I said, full service kitchen. They got a full service bar. Let me clarify. They serve beer, they serve pop, they serve juice, they serve milk, they serve wine, and they serve the popcorn in the typical theater fare. But this time around for Trailer Trash TV, we're going back to May of 2001, and this is we're going back into the campy factor. Bad 70s, basically made for TV type stuff. Damn, why the hell they put these switches so high? But we're gonna kick into a when animals attack block. So, without further ado, all right, roll them.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Trailer Trash. I'm your host, Scotty J. This week we're going to do something a little different. Forget the Irwin Allen films of the 70s, with Earthquake and Towering Inferno, etc., etc. Forget the original Jaws. We're going to the lesser-known, smaller budget, pissed off animal, nature gone wild films. We're going to start with a film called Day of the Animals. Family goes on a camping trip, blah, blah, blah. Something goes wrong in nature's chemistry, blah, blah, blah. It's a plot that's been used over the years. But then we're going to go into the sequel to Willard. Willard being the story of a boy's giant rat. This is the sequel, Ben. We're going to follow that with some other, ant films and bug films, including some early Joan Collins, some very early Joan Collins work that she'll, believe me, she'll more than likely still deny having a part in today. But let's take a look at these, and we'll talk about some of these films when we come back.
Something strange is happening in the High Sierras. Soon, it will be happening everywhere.
Every animal out there is watching us.
It is powerful and deadly, frightening beyond imagination. This little girl has seen it. She has lived through the day of the animals. She will never be the same. The day of the animals. It could be tomorrow. Rated PG.
Where Willard ended, Ben begins. Ben is coming from Cinerama Releasing, and this time he's not alone.
Hey, I found the right!
They're eating us alive down there. There's millions of them.
Ben and his army of rats are on the way. Rated PG. The bug lives. The bug grows.
The Parmiterras will eat only raw meat.
A terror so real it will make your skin crawl. Your heart pound and your soul scream for release from the bug. Rated PG.
Run for your life, because all the courage of man and all the wisdom of science is helpless to halt their march to conquer the world. Empire of the Ants. For they shall inherit the earth sooner than you think. H.G. Wells' Empire of the Ants. Rated PG.
In the next few seconds, we will try to give you an impression of a new kind of film experience.
I can't believe it. To know our plans, our strengths, our weaknesses.
Please, go away.
We have only one chance.
You must show them. We will not. Man will not give in.
Maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's happening right now. Phase 4. Rated PG. Don't say it. Hiss it.
Get low! Help!
See the most unusual horror film ever made. Rated PG. Plus, The Boy Who Cried Werewolf.
It was a werewolf. I knew it was.
The Boy Who Cried Werewolf. Rated PG.
From this lake, carved in the high mountains, comes one of the most hideous beasts since the birth of time, the Crater Lake Monster. Crater Lake Monster, a motion picture of unrelenting suspense, fright, and panic. Crater Lake Monster, a beast more frightening than your most terrifying nightmare. Crater Lake Monster, rated PG.
What if there was something in the water? Something small. Something deadly. Something you couldn't see until it was too late. What if you went swimming one day and discovered piranha? They're here, and they're hungry. Piranha, rated R.
Each year, 10,000 tourists visit Ocean Beach. This summer, Ocean Beach has attracted something else. American International presents Tentacles. It slept until man disturbed it. Then it woke with a fury no man could control, rising from the ocean floor to bring destruction and death. Tentacles. A chilling tale of nature gone wild as two of the sea's deadliest enemies fight to the death. Starring John Huston, Shelley Winters, Bo Hopkins, Claude Akins, and Henry Fonda. Tentacles, the most gripping suspense you will ever experience. Rated PG.
Okay, I missed like half the menu when I was trying to rattle off foods back there. Oh my God. But anywho, you just seen a block from May of 2001, basically when animals attack type of theme. And you saw what I meant by the bad 70s made-for-TV factor. But, you know, like I said, along with the good in Hollywood came, well, the rest. But let me know what you think. You know, on this 10th anniversary of Trailer Trash, you know, Lord knows I didn't have any idea I'd be doing this stuff this long. TrailerTrash_TV at yahoo.com. Let me know what you think. Whether you love the program, if you've been watching it for the last 5 to 10 years, if you're a total lifer of a viewer, if you hate the show, you know, that still tells me you're watching. And my message to you people in particular, if you're so disgusted by it, pick up the remote. I tell you that time after time after time, and it's not just this particular program, but if there's something on TV in general that you don't like or appreciate, turn the flippin' channel. Time and again, you've got cable for a reason. I grew up in the days when there were 4 channels if you count PBS. You know, only those 4 whopping channels to choose from. We have such a multitude of entertainment options now. Don't waste your time and breath and energy complaining about one single show. That's all I gotta say. So we're gonna take a break, and golly, you know, I'm so impressed with a facility here at New Hope Cinema Grill, New Hope, Minnesota. You know, nachos were good, popcorn is okay. I'm gonna try to hit the big time here. Can we get some service? Maybe?
This is the coffee pot at work. Listen to it perk. Look at the coffee as it gets darker and stronger. Smell the honest coffee smell. Ah, smell it. But will this cup of coffee taste as good as it smells? You bet it will, because it's Maxwell House, the coffee that tastes as good as it smells every time. Maxwell House coffee tastes as good as it smells every time. If you like to look at good coffee, listen to good coffee, smell good coffee, and taste good coffee, brew Maxwell House, the coffee that tastes as good as it smells every time. Maxwell House is good to the last drop. It tastes as good as it smells every time. Maxwell House.
Ladies and gentlemen, this commercial is going to use subliminal advertising. That means you will never see or hear the name of the product. Oh, it'll be there on the screen all right, but the naked eye cannot detect it. This way you sit back, relax, and enjoy me as I tell you this rather funny story. It seems that these 3 men decided to take a trip. The second guy goes back to the dry cleaner, says... So he opens the little door, goes... Ip, 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 ip. So the third guy says, yeah, but you better bring back the hangers.
Every beat can be a painful throb if you have a headache. This pain remedy is Bufferin, the one doctors recommend by name more often than any other leading brand. Take 2 Bufferin, and every beat can mean your heart is pumping Bufferin's pain reliever through your bloodstream. Why such speed? Because Bufferin is the modern drug for pain. It is special antacids that activate the pain reliever by speeding it into your bloodstream straight to the pain. These antacids also help soothe an over-acid stomach, a common companion to headache. This message will last 60 seconds. 72 heartbeats. If you had taken Bufferin at its start, Bufferin could already be getting into your bloodstream. Next time pain throbs upsets you, take 2 Bufferin, the fast one. It's worth it.
Some time ago, the Volkswagen people went to see one of Italy's most famous automobile designers.
Buongiorno, signorina.
Buongiorno. Volete seguirmi, per favore?
Grazie.
Buongiorno.
Molto piacere.
Ben arrivati, prego, prego.
Buongiorno.
L'ho fatto buon viaggio? Ottimo. Molto traffico in questi giorni, eh?
Fosse formidabile. Bene, bene.
They gave him this assignment.
Quali miglioramenti?
What changes would you recommend in the design of the Volkswagen? He studied it and studied it. Then he said,
Ingrandire il finestrino di dietro.
Make the rear window larger.
Solamente questo?
That's all?
Solo questo.
That's all. We did, starting with the 58. A Volkswagen is never changed to make it look different, only to make it work better.
Holy cow. Yeah, like I said, I was way off on what they offered. I inadvertently omitted a good. Wait a minute. I think somebody slipped me the wrong menu. But needless to say, we're still at New Hope Cinema Grill in New Hope, Minnesota for the 10th anniversary of Trailer Trash TV, and this particular block also for May 2001. Oh God, I know the writers are back, but we're gonna. Tim, you're gonna hate me for this. We're gonna monkey around. We're gonna check out the original 3 of the 5 Planet of the Apes films. Back when special effects consisted of rubberized appliances in the makeup department. Don't pay attention to the lips on the monkey. They're not real. But like I said, let me know what you think. trailertrash_TV at yahoo.com. And you know what? We're going to kick right into this. And we'll we'll talk about what we saw when we come back.
Hey, thanks for joining us again. This is another installment of Scotty J's Trailer Trash. I'm your host, Scotty J. And this week we're going to do something maybe a little different, maybe not. But we're going back to some 70s horror films. Some of them made for TV. The trailers were all definitely TV trailers. In other words, they may have been theatrical films, but the trailers were created for TV viewing. So you'll notice there's not going to be virtually any blood or gore or any of that crap. They focused on suspense. They focused on hype. They focused on, God forbid, storyline and celebrities. People would recognize the people before they would see the movie. We're going to start, basically, 2/3 of the show is going to be a tribute to the Planet of the Apes films. We're going to start with the original Planet of the Apes trailer with Charlton Heston and company, with Roddy McDowall, with Paul Williams, and we'll take a look at those and see how much you remember. So in homage to Tim Burton's remake that will be out this summer, it's going to be cool. It's going to be really cool. But until that comes out, let's do a little bit of flashback action with the monkeys, the apes.
can't help thinking that somewhere in the universe there has to be something better than man. Has to be.
The words are Charlton Heston.
Get out a last signal to Earth that we've landed.
The world he finds out in the galaxy will challenge every idea you've ever had of civilization. A planet where man is the lowest order of living things, and the superior beings are apes. They build the cities, make the laws, the gods, and control the guns that hunt a race of lowly, terrified humans who run wild in the jungle, are caged in the prisons, and stuffed in the museums. 20th Century Fox transforms the motion picture screen into Planet of the Apes. Pierre Boulle's finest novel since Bridge on the River Kwai.
It was a world gone insane, an upside-down civilization that could not be real. Yes, a world of madness and terror.
Man has no understanding. He can be taught a few simple tricks, nothing more.
You did it. You cut up his brain, you bloody baboon! It's a man! It's a man! But it did not end here. It ended in an episode so unpredictable, so shocking, that it made the horror which preceded it seem calm and gentle as a summer's night. A great many people worked long and hard to answer the question of what a civilization would be like where the evolutionary process had been reversed and apes were the superior species. Hundreds of technicians and the largest number of makeup artists ever assembled assisted the producers, the writers, the director, and the cast. Dr. Cornelius, Roddy McDowell. Dr. Zira, as played by Kim Hunter. Dr. Zayas is portrayed by Maurice Evans. And Nova by Linda Harrison.
Now the tribunal has placed you in my custody for final disposition. You realize what that means?
No.
Emasculation to begin with. Then experimental surgery on the speech centers, on the brain. Eventually a kind of living death.
Planet of the Apes, beyond your wildest dreams.
A planet where apes evolved from men? There's got to be an answer.
Don't look for it, Taylor. You may not like what you find.
Damn you all to hell!
The year, 3955. Charlton Heston as Taylor, a 20th century astronaut, space-wrecked in the incredible future. Linda Harrison as Nova, a savage beauty from the enslaved and voiceless human race.
They're marked for target practice.
James Franciscus as astronaut Brent on a reckless mission to rescue Taylor, trapped by the swaggering, brutal master race of apes who dominate the Earth. A planet shattered by the atomic war of a distant, forgotten past.
Where are you going?
Into the Forbidden Zone. Someone or something has outwitted the intelligence of the gorillas.
Invade! Invade!
Face the terrifying dangers of the Forbidden Zone with them. Engulfing you in the shattering experiences that await beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Well, there's an intelligence working in this place. They know we're here.
We are determined to know what the apes want, war or peace.
The superintelligent mutants. Are they human or something else? In their church, an unspeakable God.
Doomsday bomb.
Behind their faces, an unbearable secret.
We don't kill our enemies. We get our enemies to kill each other.
The irresistible war machine of the guerrilla army versus the devastating secret mind weapons of the subterranean mutants in civilization's final battle to answer the ultimate question. Can a planet long endure, half human and half ape? Is it the beginning or the end?
This is Dr. Zira, her loving husband Cornelius, and little Milo. The most dangerous to man is little Milo. Why? The time is 1973. The place is right here on Earth. How did they get here? What is their reception?
Welcome, gentlemen, to the United...
Escape from the planet of the apes. Their adventures are completely fresh, completely new. Astonishingly different from what you experienced in Planet of the Apes and beneath the Planet of the Apes. At first, feared and imprisoned.
We'll take the female first. Well, she seems to be pretty smart. All right, we'll go for the banana.
Well, why doesn't she take it? Because I loathe bananas. I don't believe it.
Zira, are you mad? Till we know who our friends are and who our enemies...
And how in the name of God are we to know that unless we communicate? We can speak, so I spoke.
President. The President convenes a special board of inquiry.
Have you a name?
Zira.
Does the other one talk?
Only when she lets me.
Embraced by our civilization, the nation gives them a hero's welcome.
Address, please.
To zoo. What is it?
Well, it's sort of like grape juice plus.
How is that? Very wet.
It's certainly the most incredible story this reporter has ever covered.
And you share the impact of every incredible moment.
Must have been the shock.
Shocked my foot. I'm pregnant.
The President's chief advisor wants them murdered, or else the human race cannot survive. The escape. The birth of an infant who could threaten man's very existence.
You're the second human I've kissed.
You are the first.
The relentless chase. The stunning climax.
Zira, I want that baby. If you won't give it to me, I'll shoot.
Why was Washington thrown into a turmoil by this one baby?
Stop him!
Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so as you saw with the original Planet of the Apes films here, if you saw Tim Burton's remake, it was okay. It was, I thought, far more grandiose than the originals, but you know that you have to appease the audiences of today, and you need nonstop action, etc., blowing stuff up, etc., lots of violence, etc. But this is how special effects seem to have started in the makeup department. It was a huge deal back then. But enough said. You know, times change, movies change, directors change, film studios change, budgets change. Like I said, this entire show, I can't thank Eric enough. Eric Kitchen, the owner proprietor of New Hope Cinema Grill, and like I had stated earlier on, if you're watching in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, stay tuned for news about a pending event celebrating trailer trash in general, Trailer Trash TV that is, to be taking place at the New Hope Cinema Grill. But it's just, you know, it's simply amazing that somebody has kept the theater industry alive such as they have. And I gotta give hats off to Eric Kitchen. He's done a lot with the facility, he's done a lot with the amenities, he's done a lot with upgrading from what used to be a dollar theater back in the day when I actually worked here to first-run movies. It's not cheap. Let me just put it to you that way. But we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with a newly launched and very successful feature of Trailer Trash TV this season. We're going to be right back with yesterday's news. Stay tuned.
Once a little old lady named Laura Scudder had a thing about potato chips. She hated chips that sounded like... Now I ask you, who likes chips that sound like... So Laura Scudder decided to make her own. A crisp, noisy potato chip. She went potato shopping until she found the perfect potato chip potato. Solid. She researched 197 vegetable oils until she found the purest and found the best salt. Then she put them all together with her secret recipe to make them crisp and crunchy and put them in a special package to keep them that way. And this was the result.
When it comes to Cracker Jack, some kids never grow up.
You're high above California's Mojave Desert. You're watching the end of an unusual test of Super Shell gasoline, a mileage test that began more than 3 miles back. Each of those 10 cars started with exactly the same volume of gasoline. The 5 dark cars got gasoline we blended just like Super Shell, but without one of its 9 working ingredients, without platformate, Super Shell's mileage booster. The 5 white cars got exactly the same amount of Super Shell with platformate. The engines are as identical as engines can be. The cars started together, accelerated to 50, and have held that speed ever since. The cars have traveled over 4 miles. Now, look. One dark car is out of fuel. So are the other dark cars. Every car without platformate has run out of fuel and is slowing to a stop. Every car on Super Shell with platformate is getting extra mileage. Platformate is one of Super Shell's 9 working ingredients to make your car work better. Stop at this clean white pump for good mileage. Super Shell.
We're back at New Hope Cinema Grill for Trailer Trash TV's 10th anniversary season. I'm still your host and producer, etc., Scotty J. We're going to kick into probably my favorite feature of Trailer Trash this year, aside from seeing how rough the show itself started way back whenever. We're going to kick into something called Yesterday's News. Like I had stated before, this is basically a look at the classic newsreels. And for those of you born after 1982, you still won't have any idea what I'm talking about. What's a newsreel? Well, it's like, what's an Atari? What's Pong? Okay, I'm dating myself real bad. Yes, I realize this. But back in the days before CNN, back in the days before Fox News, back in the days before MSNBC. See, I covered the right, the left, and the nobodies. Remember that, Tim? But back in the days before TV news was actually launched, there's something called a newsreel, meaning photographers will go out and shoot the news of the day, whether it was here stateside, whether it was overseas, whether it was wartime. That would be a capsulated news profile, if you will, of what was happening, in recent days. And like I said, you'd see a newsreel, you'd see coming attractions, you'd see short features like cartoons, or you'd see a cliffhanger chapter along with the main feature. You could go to a theater on a Saturday afternoon, spend the day there for a nickel. Okay, even I don't go back that far. Timmy might, but but we're going to kick into yesterday's news, and I got to thank everybody involved with Trailer Trash TV, not only this season, but for the last 10 years. And I hope you enjoy what you see. And there's a lot still to come in future shows. So with that being said, I've been your host, Scotty J. We'll see you next time out.
$1955, a year of anxiety and triumphs. A major medical hurdle was crossed with the discovery by Dr. Jonas Salk of the anti-polio vaccine, which was to spread a mantle of protection over millions of American children. And the scientist entered the ranks of the medical immortals. Leading drug firms shifted into high gear to meet a national demand, which spread to every crossroads despite early controversy. Each hastily set up center became a mecca for anxious parents shepherding little Johnny and little Jill to their inoculations. They're protected, and it didn't hurt a bit. The days of Dictator Juan Perón are numbered as riot succeeds riot in Buenos Aires and the entire nation seethes with unrest. Troops are kept on the move, quelling local disturbances brought about by economic upheaval and persecution of the church during the strongman's 10-year regime. 3 months ago, a sporadic rebellion was put down by the army, then loyal to Perón. During that period, the city was bombed. Some buildings were set afire, and a number of public edifices were damaged. Shortly after, Perón made a dramatic offer to resign and reformed his cabinet, but the move was too late, and a new rebellion spearheaded by the Navy and Air Force causes army units to defect. Support gone, the city threatened with bombardment, Perón's iron rule ends. The hopes of the world focus on Geneva, scene of the meeting at the summit. Heavy security precautions are put in force at the city's airport in preparation for the arrival of the figures who today control the world's destiny, the leaders of the big four nations. First to arrive is Britain's Prime Minister, Sir Anthony Eden. French Premier Edgar Faure follows. With the arrival of President Eisenhower, representation of the free world is completed. His reply to Swiss President Petitpierre's welcome eloquently expresses the spirit of the West at Geneva, as well as that of the American people.
Some 11 years ago, Mr. President, I came to Europe with an army, a navy, an air force, with a single purpose, to destroy Nazism. This time, I come armed with something far more powerful. The goodwill of America, the great hopes of America, the aspirations of America for peace.
Russia's leaders still show the energetic amiability that has marked their excursions beyond the Iron Curtain, despite a steadfast refusal to make any concessions to President Eisenhower's proposals for agreement on German reunification and European security. The president, in an effort to break the deadlock, made a precedent-shattering proposal, offering to submit a blueprint of America's entire military establishment to Russia with permission to make authenticating aerial photographs if Russia would do the same. Here at Geneva, a turning point in history may be recorded. The densely populated northeastern states were dealt one of the most staggering blows in their long history. Within a few weeks of each other, Hurricane Carol and later a 9-inch deluge combined to reduce some of the nation's oldest cities to a shambles. 400 perished during these disasters, and property losses ran into the hundreds of millions. One of the cradles of American civilization was battered but not beaten. President Eisenhower, at the height of the disaster, made a personal survey of the stricken area and ordered immediate federal aid. Even as these pictures were made, rebuilding had started. What may be the last trainload of repatriates from Russian captivity enters Austria with 190 aboard. Among them, 45 women and 2 children, not prisoners of war, but private citizens seized without cause or warning in many cases and imprisoned for years. A long time to be gone. Long enough for an infant son to grow into a young man. For many, it is a moment of agonized search for a loved one who might be aboard. Desperate hopes are realized, sometimes. Returnees told of 9 Americans still in red slave camps whose grim fate brings to American hearts a touch of the bitter despair and torment felt by those whose loved ones did not come home on what may be the last train out of Russia. Bridge to liberty, from Red Kowloon to free Hong Kong. 11 weary men trudged the last few yards after 2.5 years of captivity and torture in Red China. The flyers are led by Colonel John Arnold, senior officer aboard the B-29 when it was shot down. Major William Balmer is still on crutches as the result of injuries suffered when the plane on a leaflet-dropping mission was downed. It is a harrowing story with a happy ending, a story in which an aroused world demanded their release through the United Nations. 30 interminable months of brainwashing come to an end at the Jockey Club, where the creature comforts of civilized men become unbelievable luxuries, where a clean body gives a man self-respect, where the drinking of a soft drink means the end of a nightmare. They stand cause for rejoicing, but in their faces there's a warning of the ruthless enemy we face. The illness of a man plunged America and the free world into anxiety, and doctors' bulletins from Fitzsimmons Hospital in Denver became for 7 weeks the world's most important news. Americans breathed easier as the president returned to Washington briefly and went on to his farm home in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania after a satisfactory convalescence. By the year's end, he had sufficiently recovered to hold full cabinet meetings at his mountain retreat. Still silent about his political intentions for 1956 and ordered by his doctors to guard his activities, the president was back at the helm of state, and Americans could rejoice. Princess and Commoner. The plot of story and fable came to fruition during 1955. Princess Margaret, younger sister of the Queen of England, reached the crossroads of her romance with Group Captain and RAF hero Peter Townsend. Captain Townsend returned to England for several reunions with the winsome young princess, and the world awaited her decision. Faced with opposition of the church and her family to marriage with a divorced man, she chose duty before love. Tournament of Beauty at Atlantic City. It's the 35th annual edition of the Miss America pageant, with 49 lovely entrants from every part of the nation vying for the crown that means fame and fortune. A Cinderella year for the wearer. The dramatic culmination of 3 weeks of tense preliminaries as the judges make their choice. Sharon K. Ritchie, 18-year-old Miss Colorado. Leanne Merriweather, 1955's Miss America, crowns the new queen, an auburn-haired, blue-eyed drama student from Mile High, Denver. She tops them all. The beauty parade continues in Asbury Park, where pretty girls from 35 states vie for the title of National College Queen. Not only beautiful, but brainy. And the winner receives not only a cash prize, but a scholarship and a grand tour of Europe. Oh, Elma, mammy, come to pappy. Higher education gets a big boost from beauty as the judges add up the marks and confer the degree, title I mean, on a speechless miss from Mississippi whose favorite subject is speech. Catherine Rogers, 19, blonde and green-eyed, a sophomore at Mississippi University, receiving her crown from last year's winner. A young miss from Ole Miss. Well, to start out with, we got this picture from France, and it says here that these styles have something to do with ski de printemps, which loosely translated means skiing in the springtime. Now, trying to keep up with my schoolgirl French and trying to watch the picture at the same time, it also reads, let me see. Oh, yes, presentation of swimming suits at the Cabaret Carrère by the singer Gabriello. I guess this part must have something to do with the bathing suits, Yes. Yes. Here's a one-piece job that doesn't need any extra pieces. And as for Songbird Gabriello, he just makes like King Lear.
Leering at Marilyn Monroe became a national pastime in 1955. Seen here relaxing at a garden party with band leader Ray Anthony and pal Mickey Rooney, Marilyn was setting the screen on fire with starring roles in Bus Stop and The 7-Year Itch. Her figure and voice were enough to make strong men melt. Of course, for those really macho men who craved a bit more excitement, here's a hobby that could really set your pulse pounding.
Here come the bulls, and there go the people. Mixed thoroughly in crowded streets, and you have the folding of the bulls, ancient sports ritual marking the feast day of San Fermin. To fold bulls, you round them up and drive them to a corral in historic Pamplona, where bulls are raised for the bull ring in Spain. In this country, we do it with autos and call it jaywalking. Somebody is bound to get hurt. Bull pins boys to wall. Pin-up boys on the horns of a dilemma. But this is not the end of the tale. That comes to a mad, merry, maniacal end in the arena. But by this time, the bulls are safely behind bars in the corral. Now, the would-be matadors match wits with heifers with rubber tips on their horns. Compared to the street brawl, this is a picnic. Oh, yeah? Knocks and tumbles are the only consequence, it says here. But in the merry spirit of the San Fermin festivities, everything is born with gay good grace. Who's next?
Actually, the junior set is next with a hobby that kept America spinning in 1955. It was the yo-yo, an old pastime that staged a startling comeback. Clubs sprang up everywhere as America became yo-yo crazy. Kids strived mightily to perform tricks like this. Where were the girls? Well, they had a different hobby.
The latest rage at Palo Alto is the bongo board, kind of a sawed-off seesaw for one Marjorie Daw at a time. It's easy enough to see how it works, but it's quite a trick to make it work. Models or just anybody interested in keeping in shape find that by using bongo, bingo, everything shapes up nicely. You don't have to be good at figures to figure that out. Yes, sir, the gals are falling for bongo in a big way.
Open a Budweiser and pour yourself the most inviting glass of beer you've ever tasted.
Sure.
Cold Golden Budweiser with that good taste for good times. So go ahead. Live life every golden minute of it. Enjoy Budweiser. Every golden drop of it.
Budweiser beer is for folks who know where there's life. Where there's life.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Where there's life, there's Bud.
I'm Klondike, Tea, Ken, the bar for men both brave and bold. It warms my heart to serve them all the ale with Brewer's Gold. Enjoy that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that Valentine. Ale with Brewer's Gold. Brewmasters know this Brewer's Gold, the best hop from the vine. They brew it into Valentine for flavor genuine. It's got that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that Valentine. Ale with Brewer's Gold. Remember, friend, ale is the trend. Enjoy the genuine. For ale that's really light and gold just makes a three-ring sign. Enjoy that golden flavor, true ale flavor. Oh, that Valentine. It's the genuine. Ale with Brewer's Gold.
Grenache Rosé, a fresh, bright pink wine, a party wine, a picnic wine, a beautiful dinner wine. Try Gallo Grenache Rosé, chilled or over ice, and discover just how refreshing wine can be.
Hey, that supply of Ritz seems on the fritz.
No, stop, darling. Don't blow your top. I always keep another box handy.
Dandy! He knows Ritz crackers are richer, crisper, and his mouth is full, or he'd help us whisper. Only Nabisco bakes Ritz.
"50 to 60 years ago, people were introduced to peanut butter for the first time. They looked it over carefully. The daring and courageous bought it. Well, children loved it. But Ma and Pa were more critical. They discovered it had several drawbacks. It became oily and sticky and didn't stay fresh very long. It was rather hard to digest. It didn't taste like peanuts. Grown-ups never became peanut butter fans until 1933, when a new kind of peanut butter started to appear in grocery stores. It looked different. It smelled different. It tasted different. It had practically nothing in common with the old-style product.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and I would like to wish a happy 10th anniversary to Scotty for Trailer Trash TV. Gosh, has it been 10 years already? It feels like so much.
all you get. Money and fame gonna get you yet. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can. 15 minutes is all you get. Money and fame and no regret. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can.